What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James, shoot!
.com. And before we get started, I want to say congratulations to you. You're gonna be on the #1 radio station in Las Vegas. Is 98.5. Literally everyone in Las Vegas knows about that specific channel. And this, my man, Chasing Cinema, will be on at Friday at 8:30 to talk about what
Star
we do.
Trek Beyond, yeah.
Movies.
And Lights Out. So that's going to be fun, and hopefully, if everything goes well, you'll be hearing my voice a lot on 98.5. But only time will tell. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but thank you very much for that.
Cannot wait. But we are here to talk about Star Trek Beyond. This is the third installment of the J.J. Abrams reboot, rehash. We're coming back. Star Trek.
Yeah, and Star Trek Into Darkness, I really enjoyed that movie. I thought the first Star Trek was good, but I really loved Into Darkness because I really love Wrath of Khan, and that obviously is a huge connection to Wrath of Khan. Did you like Into Darkness more than the first? I don't remember particularly.
I don't remember.
It was a long time ago.
What I do remember for sure, though, is when I first watched both of them, I enjoyed both of them. I still enjoy both of them, but they haven't been able to have a repeat value for me. You know, I watched Into the Darkness recently,
yeah,
and it was okay.
So no,
yeah.
not that
but it was good, but it wasn't like, you know.
And for all those that don't know, Shu over here is a Trekkie.
I'm big Star Trek: The Next Generation fan. Not really Voyager. Don't like Voyager. Don't like Deep Space Nine. Definitely didn't like Enterprise. And the original series, honestly, not for me. But when it comes to TNG,
yeah,
know it all. Love it.
So when is that?
The Next Generation. So
Okay.
it's after Kirk.
Okay.
The next one: Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, Brent Spiner.
Yeah, Brett Spiner. Yeah.
Data. LeVar Burton, Reading Rainbow. So yeah, so they came out with these were good. This one, I'm not gonna lie to you, the trailers haven't been great to me. I haven't been jacked up, fired up about this.
I don't think it's had like that presence. Like everyone's like, oh, a Star Trek movie's coming out. Like I don't think it's that big, and I think that's kind of disappointing. And you know, they didn't screen this movie for critics, and that's usually not a good sign. But reviews have been up, so I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe it was just a Vegas market thing because there were screenings around the country. It wasn't. It wasn't everywhere. So I don't know if it was just kind of our market type deal, but it still is interesting that they wouldn't want us to see the movie. But yeah, like I just said, like this movie just does not feel like it has that Star Trek pull, and I feel like it should be a much bigger event and more people should know about it. So that's kind of making me a little bit curious of what's going to happen. I mean, the only real big controversy, or the only really thing that's put Star Trek into the kind of the news is
two things.
Yeah. The recent loss of Anton Yelchin and the Simon Pegg's
decision to make Sulu
a homosexual, who based off of George Takei, who in real life is
played
gay.
that character.
Yeah, played that character in the show. Not your show.
No, that was the original.
Yeah, old school with
TOS.
William Shatner, Priceline negotiator. That's what kids are gonna know him as. Kids don't know that he was in Star Trek. They know it was the Priceline guy. So yeah, I mean, like that obviously kind of. Obviously the second thing more was able to get that in the news and stuff. Anton's passing was really unfortunate. 27 years old.
Horrible way.
And a very talented actor. So I think it's going to be that's going to have an effect on the movie too. Like that's going to have a really interesting reaction for people watching him on screen, knowing of his recent passing. But I'm hoping this movie's good. I think that the last two films were both good. But I honestly have not went out of my way to rewatch them. Not because I don't want to, but just because it's just never, like, that need has never arose. So I'm just, I don't know. I'm hoping it's good.
I'm going to say this right before we close the intro, is it makes me sad because Star Wars The Force Awakens opened up at, I don't even remember anymore, it was like $230 million, 3 days. And it just seems like, and Star Wars has always been bigger than Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Trekkie, but you got to be at least know the truth.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad that it's like Star Trek just doesn't, it seems like it doesn't have its push anymore. It just seems like overall people don't care about it, which makes me sad, and these trailers haven't really got me jacked up. But hey, it's opening night, it's what we do. Even if it wasn't what we did, I'd still be here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that, but I think for this movie there was definitely just an issue or marketing flaw that was really wrong here, where it didn't really kind of get everyone pumped up. Because I do feel like, even though obviously it is, you can't really compare it to the Star Wars and like that, you know, need and that craving from people, but the other two at least I felt like had a presence where this one doesn't. So I'm hoping that changes, and I hope everyone goes to see it.
How long's the movie?
2 hours.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's see if we can boldly go where no man has ever gone before. All right, so we just got out of Star Trek Beyond. For me, absolute home run. I loved this movie.
I literally was like watching you about that. I thought you were gonna say absolutely horrible.
I loved it. It was so good. I felt that this was the first time this felt like a Star Trek movie. And what was it? York? What was that world called? The space station? York?
Yeah.
That was so cool. It felt like Elysium, but it was cool because it was all around, you know?
Rotating.
Yeah, it was rotating. I thought that
not Elysium. I think you're thinking of Oblivion. Isn't Oblivion the rotating one?
No, Elysium with Matt Damon.
Yeah. I don't remember.
But it was, they had the whole thing going on.
Okay.
Anyway, regardless, yeah, I loved it. I loved the movie. I thought the world building was awesome. I thought all the characters, Zoe Saldana, on point, and reminded me again why I love Zoe Saldana. Because I actually forgot a little bit. You know, I haven't seen her a little bit other than in as Gamora, and I loved her in Gamora. But ever since Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think I can think of anything she was in.
I think she's maybe done something, but on a very smaller scale. Unless
but
we're just forgetting. It is 3 a.m.
It is 3 a.m. But for this movie, hit it out of the park. She hit it, loved it. Chris Pine, Captain Kirk, loved it. Idris Elba was Idris Elba, and it sucks because in Thor he has all that makeup on as Heimdall.
Yeah,
I think Heimdall, you don't really see his makeup, or I mean it's nothing but makeup. You don't see him. And in this movie again, this guy, I mean Idris Elba's like handsome. Like this guy is just good looking.
Man.
He is a gorgeous looking guy, and it's like why is he always taped up? But I wanted to talk about Sophia Boutella from The Kingsman. Oof, she's so bad, bro. That girl's so BA. I loved her, even though again she was on the white makeup. But in this movie, she was all in the white makeup, but she was kickboxing and Jean-Claude Van Damme, the bad guy. And then in Kingsman, she had the scissor legs and she was doing again Jean-Claude Van Damme it all up. So
don't want to mess with her.
No, she's awesome. Love her. Spock, Quinto, loved him. Good. Honestly, there wasn't anything I didn't like about this movie. I really enjoyed it. And then rest in peace, Mr. Anton Yelchin. He did. You know, he was great as he always is in this movie. And that's just really obviously it's just sad to even talk about.
And I think it did have a reaction even with our audience, like just kind of when he came on screen, you could
you're
hear
just watching,
kind of
people, and
it was sad. But I totally agree with you. I thought Star Trek Beyond was a really good movie. I really loved Into Darkness, where a lot of people I think didn't care about Into Darkness as much as I did, and I think people are going to gravitate towards this one a little bit more. But I definitely could think that I could argue that like Star Trek has been one of the most consistent franchises as of late, because I mean they're always fun, they're always like really action packed, they're always really exciting. I mean I've enjoyed every single one, and I think this one is a great way. You know, I don't think it's a great like Star Trek Into Darkness was telling this really great important story of the Star Trek universe, at least I would assume. And this one I feel like though it is a setup movie, it is an incredibly entertaining like fun setup movie where it just makes me want to see where we're going next and what's going to happen and what's to come from the Star Trek franchise. Like you said, I think everyone was really good in the movie. They've all been really good. And, you know, even though a lot of the time in this movie, most of our characters are in separate places and away from each other, they are also really good. I really, I don't know if I've ever, or in the past reviews, gave credit to Carl Urban. Urban,
Judge Dredd was awesome.
He was really good in this movie, and he was a really good, you know, comedy relief. But he wasn't annoying or too much.
Not at
all. Zachary Quinto, I think, is really great. You know, I loved them and him and Chris Pine's connection in Into Darkness again. But I mean, I think that like even though again that they're apart in this movie, they still have that really great moment towards the end of the film when they're kind of reunited. And there's just, I mean, the action is great. Idris Elba is great. I mean, there's so many things to kind of really enjoy. Mm-hmm. And from just kind of going into space and going into, you know, obviously the beyond and going and exploring more, I feel like this kind of really felt like it was leaving like, oh, these are stories that just so happen to take place in space where we're like now going into this place and learning about different creatures and species and all that stuff. And I thought that was really fun and kind of gave this a much grander adventure feeling, and I think that's why I enjoyed it. I just had a really good time, and I'm really excited to see what's next from the Star Trek franchise.
Yeah, and in this one too, they really had all the elements of, well, since I'm like really a connoisseur of the TNG Next Generation, they really had elements of Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, and I can't remember the other one, but they all had little elements that was mixed into it. And so, and I gotta throw this out too. Simon Pegg in the movie was great, but Simon Pegg, he wrote this one.
Yeah, co-wrote, yeah.
And just hats off, because I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that, I was just like, oh man, I don't know, can he do that?
Yeah, there was a lot of doubters kind of in the beginning, and and everyone when he kind of came out and said like Beyond is not going to be like the other two films, it's going to be more about exploration and things like that. A lot of people were kind of like, I don't know if that's the right way to go, and I honestly think it was really good. Like I said, I do see this as a setup film, but not in like it's okay, you got to get through this one to get to the rest. I think it's a very exciting, and I would argue, I think I'd still put Into Darkness above this, but it would be Into Darkness Beyond in the first Star Trek. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Yes, Simon Pegg is good in the movie, but I think where he wants to bring this series is, I think, where a lot of fans will enjoy it, and I think it kind of puts it in, a little bit more away from these other like subgenres, and gets to kind of go and just every time you see this movie, go learn about a new species or creature or planet, and you really get to kind of open up those doors and just have continual. I think Star Trek's celebrating its 60th. I believe it's 50th years around, and I think with this kind of mentality, we'll have a lot more movies to come.
Hey, exciting. So from both of us, ChasingCinema.com, that's a hit. I'm a hit.
I thought it was really
so
good.
Go watch it and spend your freaking $7, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10.
Yeah, I can honestly say it was one of the better films that have come out this entire summer.
Yes, for sure.
This summer has not been spectacular.
No.
And I would honestly,
VVS.
I would probably put this in my top.
Why?
I think like top 5 films of the summer so far, if not higher, because
100%.
I mean, if we're especially depending on where we're starting, if we're starting in June or even May, because May was Captain America, right?
Oh well, this is like number 2, 3 already.
Because I mean, beyond Finding Dory and Captain America, I don't think there's been like a really.
When is
really great...
Zootopia come out? February?
Zootopia was early in the year.
Yeah, it's like February.
So,
okay. Yeah, this is definitely like I don't know. I don't want to just say number, but at least top 5. Or, I think top 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that of the year.
Oh, I wouldn't go that
Of
far.
the year.
I wouldn't go that far, but definitely of the
because
summer.
I know what your number 1 is right now. That's a god dang shame. Anyway, so yeah, it's a hit. Watch the movie. It's awesome. In 7 days, we got finally something I'm freaking jacked about.
Bad
Return.
Moms?
No. Jason Bourne.
Oh, Jason Bourne. I'm going to tell you a little quick story. Jason Bourne, I have only seen the first Jason Bourne movie. I've never watched the other films.
They're all freaking amazing.
And everyone has told me that, and every time I've sat down to watch them, I just never, every time I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch it, I don't. And I don't know why. And then me and Louis Vuitton, when we actually first started chasing cinema, one of the biggest arguments we got in was who would kick more ass, Jason Bourne or John McClane from Die Hard. And I'm a very big Die Hard fan.
Oh,
and
Jason
we would
Bourne,
have this
kill him.
argument. So I think next week,
Jason Bourne actually knows how to fight.
John McClane,
He gets lucky.
that's bull. Don't even get me started on this. But I think in my 365-day challenge, which if you've not checked, I did my week 28 update. You click that white
Beast moding.
I'm going to watch some of the Jason Bourne movies this week or next week.
And real quick, since I love Jason Bourne, I actually understand how you feel.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the one I didn't watch any of them until the 3rd one.
Really?
And I watched The Ultimatum, and I was just like, gosh dang, that was good.
You watched Ultimatum first?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I went back and watched the other two. And I was like, oh man, I wish I would have saw the first 2 in theaters.
I'm going to get a lot of crap for that because, I always argue that Jason Bourne would get his ass kicked with John McClane. But yeah, I only watched the first one, and I just kind of, I would always be like, all right, I'm going to watch. I'm not going to
Matt Damon, a BA.
Like people had bought in those movies for me to specifically to make me watch. I've still not watched them.
Matt Damon,
But
a BA, homie.
It gives me a reason now that I have to watch movies I've never seen before in this challenge.
Love it all. All right,
We also reviewed.
lights out.
Yeah. Click that wide eye, you can see what I have to say.
It's already
about that
live
movie.
right now. Go watch it. But if you watch a movie, watch the review for Lights Out.
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but Star Trek Beyond.
Is
Live
the way to
long and
go.
prosper, man.
Next
Love it.
week, Jason Bourne, Bad Moms, and Nerve.
Love it all.
In case Jason Bourne's not your thing.
Hey, it happens.
Let's do it.
ChasingCinema.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.